Hello y'all. This video may or may not be part 1 of a Malta playthrough in the Hearts of Iron 4 mod, Kaiserredux. Kaiserredux is a Hoi 4 mod that acts as an unofficial and standalone expansion for another Hearts of Iron 4 mod called Kaiserreich. Kaiserreich itself takes place in a world where the Central Powers were victorious in World War I. Starting things off, our country has 5 national spirits, and they are the new Sons of Malta. The language question, pangs of republicanism, socialist cells, and the blind Garrison. And Malta is led by Ludovico Chigi della Rovere Albani, also known in real life as Ludovico Chigi della Albani Rovere, and he historically was the Grand Master of the Sovereign Order of Malta, the Knights Hospitaller, Knights of St. John, essentially, from the early 1930s to the early 1950s. And the ruling ideology of Malta is paternal autocracy, specifically the sub-ideology neo-feudalism. So, yeah, this is a neo-feudalist state, Malta is, and we are a puppet of the German Empire. I think that's our Air Force. I didn't mean to click on that. We are a puppet of the German Empire, yeah. And we do have a focus tree, so let's start that now to bring down an empire. The yoke of the Hohenzollern's has spread to our once proud island and now holds us as a playpen for, quote, protection from the syndicalist when we are little more than another possession of them. But the Maltese spirit shall not be destined to be chained down. Our order plants the seeds of devastation that will open up the chance for our freedom. With the dawn, well, the effect of this focus is, with the dawn of 1936, the time has come to set in motion the new Sun's grand plan that will lead to the final freedom of our nation. And the new Sons of Malta, although they are a national spirit, they are basically they seem to be like a secret society, honestly. There is more descriptive text on the national spirit there. I'm not going to worry about reading that, though. And we have a couple research slots available. Let's go for basic machine tools and construction 1, and we are part of the Kaiser Wilhelm Society, which is a research and technology sharing group, which we get because we're basically a member of the German faction, the Reichspakt. Yeah, so we have 1 division here, and we have no commander, so let's get a new commander. Do we have a navy? No, we do have an air force, though, surprisingly. Well, I guess it isn't too surprising. We have 10 fighters and 1 air wing. And let's unpause here. We don't have much manpower since, well, I don't know. We just don't have much manpower. We have 1,000. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of text. I'm going to read through it, though. The small, shining jewel of the Mediterranean, the small but stalwart archipelago of Malta, has a long and storied history of constantly falling under the sway of different foreign powers, rather it be the Sicilian Arabs of the long-gone emirate, or the French and the British, who both had their time as lords over this paradise within the Mediterranean. The islands rarely have been allowed to live their own way, and when they have, it was usually under the watch of the historic and heroic Knights of Malta. And going down here, if I can see it right, whatever. However, the Knights have fallen far from grace and now largely exist as pro-German sycophants, a husk of their past powers save for the few circles of radicals that still cling to the old ways. Led by the 76th Grand Master of the Sovereign Military Order of Malta, Ludovico Chigi Albani della Rovere Albani, the SMOM, the Sons of Malta, I guess, they resurged to national prominence as the heralds of the new German occupation following the fall of the British Empire. Oh, never mind. That's a different thing. That's not the SMOM. It's not the New Sons of Malta. That's just the Sovereign Military Order of Malta. It's an acronym for that. Anyway, allied and heavily backed by the Kaiserreich and its new Maltese garrison, the Knights ruled as a soft military government, while Germany mainly used the islands as an airstrip. This military government largely held and was largely unopposed on the surface, but across the underground of Malta, Republican protest and socialist agents worked to undermine their rule at every turn. Meanwhile, the infamous and perfidious New Sons of Malta worked from deeper in the shadows, pulling the strings from afar as they amassed their wealth and power in secret using a variety of dubious and black market methods. This scheming came to a head in late 1930 when the Kaiserreich, unaware of the growing local radical tensions, decided to allow the native Maltese to form a civilian government underneath the Knights' watch. Despite the local nationalist conservative party, the Parti Nationaliste, I can't pronounce that, winning the local elections, their rule was quickly and completely undermined when the new Sons of Malta finally played their hand. Appearing from the shadows like phantoms, they moved unseen, working with blackmail and extortion, bribery, and assassination to completely cripple both the German Knights coalition government and the newly elected Nationalist Conservative Party cabinet. With this secret society of international elites and mysterious financiers seizing power over Malta, they have managed to rule for nearly 6 years, duping the German delegation and Berlin the entire time. However, making our way to the very bottom here, the new Sons are far from secure in their rule, for after funding from their respective favored Italian factions and from the new Sons themselves in a bid to destabilize the German garrison, the democratic parties and socialist cells within Malta have gained great power. Worse yet for them, the radical wing of the Knights have started to grow once again in popularity, and Germany has begun to catch on to the new Sons' plot. Despite sedition acts passed by their puppeted facade government, sending panic and disorganization throughout the archipelago. With these tensions rising and the Republicans increasingly more vocal in their desire for new elections and an end to the clearly fake government charade, it would seem that the time is ticking for the new Sons, and Malta shall soon be free to choose its destiny once again. So the new Sons of Malta, who came to power basically 6 years ago, are losing their grip. This is what this event says, essentially. And political power plus 50%, plus 50. What does it say? The current Malta content. Oh, the current Malta content is just a simple teaser. Yeah, Malta has a little bit of content right now, but in the future, it may get an update. We'll see. Time will tell if it does get an update or not. I do like that little opening event. Events like that are always nice in Kaiserredux and Kaiserreich and mods in general, just to give you a general, background for the situation the country is in, its starting position, so to speak. And what I didn't say was that the president of Russia has been assassinated, President Kerensky. He's been shot or something, which always happens in Kaiserreich in this world. 1936 Riga Winter Olympics have taken place. Now let's start to focus. Let's do Spark Panic pullouts. For the past, let's read through this real quick. For the past several years, since the end of the Weltkrieg, if not even before, the economy of the Kaiserreich has been falling, be it a stagnant world economy, a crashing of Wall Street, or even just the Reich's own overgrowth. Her economy is headed for a recession. While such a thing will obviously come sooner or later, by using our influence with the many investors within Germany, we could spark a round of panic pullouts and buyouts, possibly pushing the final domino down and allowing us to finally be able to enact our grand plan to free our isle. And it's sort of funny, but basically, it seems that in this universe, the whole panic of Black Monday is sort of caused by people in Malta. I guess the new Sons of Malta. The Totalist Charter has been signed, or that's taking place in England, I think, in Britain. Edward VIII is crowned as the King of Great Britain. Everything is proceeding as normal in the early game of Kaiserredux. And looking at the Malta province here, we have 5 state level 5 naval base, panic buyouts, pullouts has been done, and we can't do a chance for freedom just yet. And I think all these focus take 14 days to complete, so that's not going to take long at all. We can get an operative though. We have operatives. What the world? I didn't realize we have so many operatives. That's so many. What is our intelligence agency called? The Eyes of the New Sons. I guess that makes sense. I guess it goes along with how shadowy the new Sons of Malta are, which honestly just seem like Maltese. It is a secret society. And let's do this now in the focus tree. Let's do readying the socialist and read that. I'm not going to read everything there. Black Monday has occurred. The socialists in Malta are few and far between, mostly hidden within the depths of the Labour Party. Anarchists are elected in France. Regardless of this fact, they still make up part of Malta and thus part of the grand plan. To ensure the grand plan's success, we need the socialists on board or something. Poland declares the republic, and there's so much to read. Get them on. We must get the socialists ready to go on strike to cripple the garrison's ability to get any items. So the plan is to basically kick out the garrison in Malta, the German-backed garrison. And anyway, the Socialists of Malta. For many years, the Partito Laborista, the Labour Party, I guess, has harbored a tumor, slowly growing and metastasizing throughout the party. The cancer that they call radical socialism, this is the event speaking, has infected Paul Buffa's beloved hub of social democracy, fueled, supplied, radicalized, and influenced by the Third Internationale and primarily Italy. These socialist cells have begun to take over the Partito Laborista, slowly pushing Boffa out of his own party while the rest of the nation is none the wiser. Led by Dominic Mintoff, an avowed Christian syndicalist taking inspiration from Italy's Alsace D'Ambris and Giacomo Matteotti, and Carmelo Borg-Pisani, a Maltese nationalist who greatly admires the Renaissance and emulates Benito Mussolini's totalism, while also pulling from Italo Balbo's ideas. These radicalized seek to infiltrate our democracy and tear it down from within. Though much of the nation remains unaware of these people and their plot, Paul Boffa and his Laborites currently are engaged in political war for the soul of the Partito Laborista and possibly for the fate of the nation. Despite their current goals and feud with the Laborites, these socialists still have a part to play in the grand plan, and with our guidance and additional financial assistance, they too shall help our gamble pay off. And we must cut off... Okay, whatever. Let's get that done. Now let's do the focus. Frenzy the Republicans. And this focus says in the text, the various political parties of Malta, be it the Nacionalistas or the Constitutional, I can't pronounce these names. Maltese is a beautiful language, I just can't say everything right in it. And it says, anyway, are the most important piece of the grand plan, war in China. While their place in the actual liberation of Malta will be small to non-existent, the post-liberation world is a much different matter. They shall form the basis of our new civilization, giving the people a true voice within the halls of power. And thus they must be frenzied and ready to act as soon as the time is ripe. So, from what I can gather with all these focuses in their text and what the events say, as I may have said before, the country is essentially ramping up to drive out the blind Garrison here, the German-backed forces in Malta, so that Malta itself can become an independent nation. And the Republican element, there's so much to read. Currently forced to languish as a powerless powerless facade under the regime of the new sons to save face with the German Empire, the Republican, quote, government, unquote, of Malta is largely non-existent, with most Republicans in the nation forced into being little more than a resistance movement, one that perfectly fits into the grand plan, coalescing under a provisional government until the first elections can be organized as held, and if and only when our gamble pays off. The current democratic scene is mainly divided into three camps: Partito Nacionalista, Partito Constitutional, whatever. They're all different Republican parties. How to say? There's the right-wing conservatives, the nationalist party, the Partito Nacionalista, the Partito Constitutional, the main liberal party. They're the main liberal party. Then there's the third liberal party, the Labour Party, essentially the Partito Laborista, which we have met earlier. They're dealing with like a socialist infighting. They're having a power struggle right now, and we're just going through that event just to get it over with. There's just so many events. And let's do preparing the knights, which is very critical for us. We need the support of the knights. The knights of Malta have long been the de facto rulers of Malta since she fell under the Kaiser's boot following the British Revolution. While their numbers are small and they are not what they used to be, the knights still hold much valor. While their part in the grand plan is small, it is vital, and thus they must be prepared. And we'll get another event from doing this focus. My goodness. Another operative. Why do we have... Oh my goodness. We just have a huge spy network, don't we, as Malta? Restoration of democracy in Australasia. That has occurred. And let's go ahead and... Actually, never mind. Preparing the Knights is going to be done, though. I will read through this event. The death of Pius XI. The true Knights of Malta, serving as the liaison between Germany and Malta before the rise of the new sons, and as our main facade now, the Sovereign Military Order of Malta, or the SMOM, is currently led by the 76th Grand Master, Ludovico Chigi Albani della Rovere Albani, devoutly Catholic and dedicated to the Virgin Mary, and ever chivalrous and stalwart. This knightly military order has faded into and out of prominence for centuries, but once again finds itself thrust into national prominence as the new sons and their coalition collapsed. Viewed by some as traitors due to their ties with the Kaiserreich, the Sovereign Military Order of Malta is fiercely dedicated to Maltese nationalism and the preservation of our archipelago, declaring adamantly that their cooperation with Germany is purely seen as a necessity to preserve Maltese culture and the survival of our people, preaching for a pious and stable Malta tied to the German Empire. The front face of the order hides a more independent, illustrious, and possibly deluded secret faction that holds far more greater aspirations for Archipelago, tied to former and long-dead glories. Regardless of their obsession with the past, and that they possibly harbor more dangerous zealots and radicals within their ranks, the Order is wholly devoted to protecting Malta in perpetuity, no matter the cost. Once the German garrison is forced from the island in accordance with the Great Plan, the SMOM will once again play their part to ensure Maltese independence, for they are planned to become the main military of the nation, and regardless of their political aspirations, there they shall serve admirably in the defense of the nation, though we will have to keep tabs on their deep ties to the Parti Nacionalista. No matter the outcome of the Grand Plan, the Maltese people can always rely on these knights in shining armor to save them. And that event is done. So now we have the revolution on standby, and it says for the Grand Plan to work, the socialists and their working class contacts must be on constant alert, ready to answer the call to action at any time of day. The revolution simply must be on standby if we are to have any chance of victory, and this will boost the popularity of the ideologies, radical socialism, and totalism. So things are getting ready. We're getting preparations done to secure Maltese independence, really. And after this is done, we're going to end up doing the focus. All these focuses here. We're going to just do a future in flux, and I'm going to, after all that is done in the focus tree, I'm going to show you something in the decisions tab here that Malta gets. Now let's do the focus, rally the people. The people, the ones we are fighting for, are the future of our state. If we want to have any chance of success against kicking the I'm not even sure what the word means, frankly, but any chance of kicking the Germans out of our land, we must rally and provoke the common folk. Only with their support and arms, we can kick out the Kaiser's soldiers, and this focus will boost the popularity of market liberalism and social conservatism. So, ideologies are becoming more popular throughout Malta, and plans continue to be laid for Malta to kick out the Germans. The Austrian Empire is going to fight the Italian Federation. Wow. I don't think the Italian Federation is going to fare too well there. They're facing the full might of the Austrian Empire. Yeah, I don't see that ending too well for them. I don't think the Italian Federation has any allies. They don't have any at all. And modify officer corps, high command. What is this? French Bonapartists restore to monarchy. What in the world? Actually, never mind. So the French monarchy is back in North Africa. It looks like a lot of crazy stuff happening. Oh, he even looks like Napoleon I, doesn't he? That is Napoleon VI. He looks like his ancestor. And let's do the focus. Awaken the Crusader spirit. The Knights of Malta had the luxury of being one of the few orders of Crusaders still in existence. With a proven history of connection to the old Kingdom of Jerusalem, many members of the order long to reclaim the Holy Land. By awakening this spirit, by painting the Germanic forces as simply the first step in restoring Outremer, we can prepare them for the part they shall play in the Grand Plan. And that focus will boost the popularity of the ideology named paternal autocracy. And so Germany is going to have to deal with the Republicans, the Knights, and the Socialists. So three forces are going to combine their power in something like a coalition to kick out the Germans out of the archipelago of Malta. We can modify the officer corps still. Does this matter? I don't think I'm going to bother with this for now. I need more military. I need more EXP or command power, whatever. And the Italian Federation is just getting stomped there in that war with the Austrian Empire. Pretty brutal. Awaken the Crusader spirit is done. Now let's do... Somebody was elected to something. Let's do reveal ourselves to the Jerrys. The time has finally come. The Knights are prepared, and the Republicans are in a frenzy, and the Socialists are at the ready. When the day is over, Malta will finally be free of Germany, and Phase 2 of the Grand Plan can begin at last. And once this is done, the German Empire will get the event, the First International Congress took place. But once this focus is done, the German Empire will get the event. Malta declares independence. Then, after all is said and done, this country will be free to do whatever it wishes outside of German influence. And yeah, the Italian Federation, they're really going to have to be defending Rome pretty hard. I don't think they're going to hold. They're just going to be outnumbered. That's just brutal. Get another person here. Yet another operative that I'm not really using. Let's send them all to Egypt. Just put them all in Egypt. Build an intel network. Actually, let's just put 2 there. Put 2 in the Ottoman Empire and Constantinople. And this may make sense later. Maybe, I don't know. Just keep an eye on Malta, though. That stuff did say something about going back to the Holy Land and starting a new, I don't know. I just don't know. At the very least, our operatives will be operating in the Middle East. And now Malta is independent. So let's do the focus now. Actually, never mind. We gotta wait for an event to pop up. But Malta is independent. We got a new flag. The Sovereign Order of Malta is still in charge. And the collapse of the new sons of Malta, using their fast fortunes and political ties to the varied and anonymous financiers and the captains of industry that make up the new sons of Malta, have saved our archipelago from the grasp of the Germans and their greedy Kaiser. By funding and supplying all political groups within the nation, ranging from the Republican elements shackled under the German garrison to the various nationalist and socialist cells and groups that pervade these islands, the new sons have propelled the Maltese people to carry themselves to victory. However, this situation has spiraled out of control of the new sons. For the very movements they once funded have swelled to both uncontrollable, they have swelled to be both uncontrollable, and they are no longer beholden to these bored rich men masquerading as a secret order. Shortly after the German flag was torn down over Valletta, so too was the shadow order of the new sons, with their identities revealed and their surviving members forced to flee from the island lest they faced retribution. Our Malta, now freed from the grasp of both the Germans and the new sons, is now free to pursue its own destiny. And with the ever-tumultuous political landscape of our small archipelago now free to blast off in a new direction, our newly freed nation and the people now stand at a crossroads as the coalition created by the new sons collapses nearly as quickly as it formed. We must brace ourselves for the future as we move to establish a provisional government in the wake of this new shift until a more permanent direction can be established. And that's all happening now. And can we do this focus yet? Yes, we can. A future in flux. This focus says, with the new sons being displaced after nearly 7 long years, Malta can finally breathe free. However, with that freedom comes new threats and new challenges. The future of Malta is truly in flux. And let's check on the Italian Federation. They are still suffering. Yeah, I think they're going to end up being a puppet of the Austrians. A future in flux. After years of instability and decay gnawed at their flimsy foundations, the new sons of Malta have finally been ousted, and with them gone, their facade government has collapsed. Our archipelago now stands at the precipice of its new future, for citizens across Malta could easily wake up to one of 2 very different realities as the power vacuum rushes to be filled. The 2 main groups currently holding the strengths, ties, and support necessary to seize power peacefully with the support, or at least a decent percent of the population, are the Republicans, rallying around 3 main democratic parties, and the Knights of the Sovereign Military Order of Malta. With the SMOM's reputation as a German interest group growing, they may experience some pushback, but with the rising socialist tendencies within some groups inside the Labour Party, they may be needed to keep Malta from socialism. We must tread carefully, for our destiny is dawning, and we best make the right choices now, so as to not sully our newfound freedom. And let's go with the decision here. We have 2 choices. Let's go with the bottom one. For stability and piety, the knights wrest control as the false sons fall. So the Sovereign Military Order of Malta will maintain control of the country, and we now have a generic focus tree. Let's go ahead and do, I guess, political reform. Would that be good? Possibly. We have... Okay, yeah, let's do political reform. Also, we have a decision here. We have some decisions. We need to join a faction. That would be good. Can we do that at all? Form the Empire, lay claim to the Holy Land, the Knights. Oh, we gotta wait. But yeah, we do have decisions that will allow us to go to war with a bunch of countries in the Middle East in order to, how to say, rebuild the Kingdom of Jerusalem and a lot of different states there. Modified government. Let's go to... Great, what is this about? This is civilian... Oh, conscription law. I mean, never mind. Forget that then. The riots of St. Paul's Bay. With the sovereign military order of Malta's decision to retain the reins of power in Malta and not give way to democratic practices, the various republican elements around our archipelago began to riot, particularly in the capital of Valletta. However, just a few miles away, a far larger uprising was growing in St. Paul's Bay, Malta's largest and most industrialized city. Long a hot spot for socialist thought, especially among the intelligentista and the local dockhands and factory workers, St. Paul's Bay is now engulfed in popular uprising as the local socialist cells riled up and antagonized action by the Knights and by their new allies in socialist Italy. This uprising bringing with it is a mass general strike which has crippled Malta's fledgling economy, and the Knights must act soon if they have any hope of stopping this red threat. With their weapons at the ready, the Knights dived into the heart of the city to try to save it from this foreign-backed Crimson Tide. And let's go with the event here. The choice here, the Knights are crushed by the SRI. The Socialists are routed before their SRI allies can save them. I was about to pick the wrong choice I wanted there. So, no Socialist Republic of Italy is going to come to save the Socialist. And in our tech tree, let's do Concentrated Industry 1. Can we also now we can't lay claim to the Holy Land yet. Dang nabbit. We gotta wait still. So let's switch to early mobilization now. Get that done. And I don't think it was a good decision in retrospect. I regret doing that. We have no factories. Oh well. And a return to tradition. With our hold over Malta now secure, the time has come to square away one of the largest internal problems facing the Order of St. John. While always existing in a form of militaristic nostalgia, but greatly invigorated by the new sons, a sect of the new order has long wished for a return to our crusading origins. While not directly linked to the founding of the great Crusader kingdoms, our order was founded within the Kingdom of Jerusalem, and we are perhaps one of the last vestiges of that long-dead kingdom that still exists. This fact has led many within the order, especially those in the younger generation, to yearn for a return to the old order, one in which Catholicism and Catholic kings and princes ruled over the Holy Land. Having ties to the Austrian Order of the Golden Fleece and viewing Austria as the one power that may actually support such a rival, this grouping poses little actual threat to the Order of St. John as a whole, despite this, due to the fact that the Order is the undisputed master of Malta, their presence could possibly lead to disunity in the future. Thus, the Grand Master has called an emergency meeting to finally make a ruling on these radical traditionalists once and for all. And let's do this here. Let's go with Deus Vult, we shall proclaim Jerusalem. And we'll join the Austro-Hungarian Empire. We left Middle Europa, that faction there. Now let's go ahead and help out the Austrians in their war with the Italians. Send some divisions up there, maybe. So now we're part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. They're going to call us to a conflict. They want us to aid them in their invasion of Italy. I guess we could do that, although it could be a bad idea. We'll see. We do need their assistance, though. So let's go ahead and do this. Lay claim to the Holy Land, and we'll get a bunch of claims on a lot of different areas. And how are we going to do this here? So we have claims on this, claims on Thessaly. What's going on in Italy? The Confederation of Southern Italy. Oh no, I have an idea what's going to happen. The Socialist Republic of Italy is going to stop being a thing. Let's join the Austrian war, though. Help them out. And we're going to march on Rome as Malta. And frankly, I think we could possibly see Italy unite peacefully and have one mega powerful Austrian ally. Siam's new constitution. Oh great, they managed to beat off those divisions. Now we got to hold. Just dig in for now. They defeated that one encircled troop. Move on Rome. Advance here. Why do you have no troops? Come on. You guys have more units, right? You have oh my goodness. Get more troops down here, please. The fall of the Kingdom of Finland has occurred. Capture San Marino, White Sun over China. And let's move on. Let's go toward Rome. Let's go all in. We have one infantry division. This is a really big gamble for us. Hopefully the Maltese troops can reach it. No, okay, we can't. Just hold down then. Take this area, though. You have so many divisions. Use them, please. Just use them. Take this area near Ancona and go down here once more. Manually move our units again. Can we go toward Rome? If we can get Rome, that is going to be a steal. The death of T.G. Masaryk. Oh, great. It got encircled. Come on, guys. We do better than this. We are, in fact, encircled. Take a port. Take a port. Take a port. Get the port. Just do something like that. You're in Latium. get a port so we don't get encircled and get destroyed here just because of our failed offensive. The Austrians are not really doing so well in this war. I wonder if I made a mistake making them an ally, just because they had the Order of the Golden Fleece. At the very least, we're going to hold out in a port. So that's good. And it looks like the Italian Federation is going on a counter-offensive. Where's the rest of the Austrian troops? They have tons of puppets. So you'd think they'd have... I mean, they have tons of subjects. You'd think they could rely on them to help them in this conflict. But that's clearly not happening. By securing a port near Rome, we can at least ensure we will have a place close to the enemy capital under our watchful eye. And we can also perhaps flee from that area, from the situation we're in, if we have to. Hopefully that doesn't have to occur. And honestly, I'm not sure if I want to test that, because they do have an enemy. They do have a navy, although I think the Austrian navy completely stomps there. So basically, we're in a good position. This is the best we can do right here in Latium, because we can really retreat, because the front line, the connection we have with the Austrian front line kind of got cut. And I just noticed there's a Hungarian division here. Maybe they can help us out. And a research slot is available. Let's do Excavation 1, get that started. I can't believe we only have 2 research slots. I mean, that's a relatively normal thing for smaller countries in Hearts of Iron 4. Let's try to help out this country here, or no? Well, that one, yeah, we're not helping you guys. You're stuck there, that one artillery division. Dig in here, though. Use Last Stand. Just keep the enemy occupied. Hopefully I hope that I hope the Austrians can go on a new offensive. The 1936 Vienna the Winter Olympics have occurred, or is that summer? Whatever. Crimea secures independence, and that has happened. Let's use this here. Use that operation, force attack. Also use Last Stand again. We just gotta dig in. And in our focus tree, let's do Unite the Nation. That will take 70 days. We just have a generic focus tree at this time. Why can you guys be more helpful? Seriously, what is going on here? You guys are just struggling to fight Italy now. You're doing so well. That one division there is going to get destroyed, by the way. That's an artillery division. They're holding out for now. Or not. They're going to fall. Now let's take Rome. Let's do it. No one's defending it. Let's grab Rome. Yes. Victory. The fall of Rome. What does he think? The fall of Rome. Austrian forces have secured the city. And bad news is that we may not have a way out of here if that one Hungarian division leaves the area. Where is the Austrian army? Like, Malta is carrying their war effort here. Republic of Khiva has joined a faction. Let's take this area here. Please keep them occupied. We'll move back to Rome. Just keep them busy. And I really hope this other Italy does not join the war with Austria. If they choose to fight against Austria, we're doomed. We're going to just flee as fast as possible. If that happens, the Austrians got yet another division encircled, this time in Ravenna. Man, that is just a disaster, isn't it? How are you guys messing this invasion up so badly? Just get more troops here, and you would win easily. Can I just have militia? I need militia, don't I? Make one militia unit. That's all we're going to have. One singular militia. Even though we have ambitions to eventually try to unify a lot of the... bring back the Empire out trimmer, all that stuff in the Middle East. Bad news is that we can't really, I'm not sure if I can rely on my Austrian allies, is what I'm saying. Let's get some stuff from Lend-Lease from Croatia, Illyria, thank you Illyria. And Jabal Shammar declared war Nijd. That's going on in Arabia. We have Rome. What even is the war score here? Can we be sneaky and win? I don't think we can. Maybe we could. They have like 31% war score. Although, looking at the way they're attacking Rome now, our position there, I do not see that happening. Do not see that happening at all. And let's get a military officer or chief of the army. Let's go with maybe what? Guns and butter. No. Chief of staff. Mass combat? Yeah, school of mass combat. We need as many divisions as we can man, as we can get out in the field. Why is Austria failing at this war so hard? It's a slam dunk. Just launch a naval invasion. Take Florence or something. We took Rome for you. That's like the most difficult part of invading the Italian Federation. We captured their capital. All you guys need to do is take advantage of that momentum. You're too busy bordering Serbia and Romania. Like, come on. You're causing yourself to lose this war. It's embarrassing. And yeah, that's all I got to say about my Austrian allies at this time. I can't believe a Maltese division and a Hungarian division are the ones defending Rome for the Austro-Hungarian Empire at this point, although it does look like they'll have a victory here above Modena. I was sort of shocked they're actually winning this time. I can't believe... Oh, whatever. Let's get the focus done, militarism, and that will give us more of a... That will give us higher damage to garrisons, or lower damage... We'll take lower damage to our garrisons from resistance. We'll also get more army EXP, and that's always beneficial to have. Modified government. School military command focuses. Let's do army defense, army focused defense. Yeah, we can't really rely on offense, frankly. Although we are getting some good, I guess, how to say, army EXP from this whole conflict. We just need the Austrians to push while we hold Rome. Maybe if we had some militia, let's get some militia in the field, deploy them, and send them up to the Austrian lines. Give this guy another. Okay, another division in the army. Can we actually launch a naval invasion? We could try it. Can they just break through this? All you gotta do, break through the enemy lines. Break through, then we can actually do something for you. Because it seems like Karl here, I don't know, he's not the best at waging wars, even though he has a nice mustache. So, nice mustache, not good at waging wars. And hopefully this conflict ends. I really do hope it does. Huey Long is elected president of the USA. We'll see how long that lasts. And it looks like our convoy is under attack from... We just lost our militia division. Where is the Austrian Navy? I don't know. I should have sent them to this place in the Adriatic Sea instead, shouldn't I? And how many ships are even here for Austria in this part of the world? They have a huge advantage in terms of... Oh my goodness, that is embarrassing. Like I said, I feel like I regret aligning myself with Austria, but we have no other alternative. Norway joined a Third Internationale. I guess for Chief of the Army, let's go with the Guns and Butter Doctrine, or no, Doctrine and Autonomy. Static Defense Doctrine, yes? Okay, let's go with that. Or no. Commando Doctrine. Should have gone with Decisive Battle. Yeah, that might have been better. Oh well. Austria is advancing more. They can just get Florence. They can end this. I can't believe we lost that one militia division we had. Go ahead and get this one out of the queue, so we don't have to worry about arming 2 divisions. The Democratic left is victorious in Brazil. Okay, at least we're on the winning side in this war. Austria does provide us with some aid, though, even though they have this obsession with guarding Serbia and Romania, who, mind you, have not even formed the Belgrade Pact yet. They're just so worried about those countries. Admiral Kolchak is murdered in Transamere. That's in. They took Florence. Good. The admiral was murdered in... He was murdered in Transamere. And that is bad for them in the far eastern part. Well, not far east, but East Asia. Okay, never mind. The East Siberian Federation has been formed. I guess they don't really care about Kolchak. And research slot available. Do this. Support weapons 1. East Turkestan got into a war in China. North Caucasian state is also fighting someone. That's against the North Caucasian state is taking on Georgia, which is led by Stalin. Yusuf, Jugoslavia, whatever. And we have player-led peace conference on, because I had to do that in order to make my conquest of the Holy Lands work. Well, of the Middle East work, essentially. And I'm going to have to do this. I need to do this. So, intern pass. I'm sorry, Austria. I gotta take them and make into a puppet. We'll still be in your faction. We just want to make them a puppet. We'll make the Italian Federation a puppet of Malta. It has to be done. We have to have a powerful ally somehow. Just, hold on. Let me just intern here. Oh my goodness, I messed up. I gotta undo all of this. What is this? Just being annoying, isn't it? Making this awkward, aren't I? And let's get rid of all that. Pass. Pass. And now let's take all the states. Intern. And hit done. Peace conference is done. The Italian Federation has been annexed. And the last, Italy standing. Wow. So let's do something with the Italian Federation now. Do we have anything for that? I want to make them into a puppet. That's all I want to do. Fate of Italy. And... Wait, no, I hit the wrong thing. Release the Italian Republic as a puppet. Do that. And that has been done. So that's a puppet for Malta, and it's the Italian Federation. So the Pope is still in charge. Now he's just part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and he's a puppet of the Grand Master of the Sovereign Order of Malta. So instead of the Pope controlling the Knights of St. John, the Knights of St. John are controlling the Pope. And let's move our army here back to Malta, get all that done. And we have claims on a lot of different countries around the Mediterranean. We just can't really do anything with those claims just yet because we need world tension to be higher in order to justify on all these countries. So I'm thinking maybe we will attack Greece, possibly. I'm considering it. Whatever. Military youth, get that done in the focus tree. I wonder if this Italy is going to attack the Italian Federation. I don't know. So you have the Italian Confederation, then you have the Italian Federation. I really hope they just unify into one country. That would be great for us. It really would. And now we just have to wait everything out. We have a long way to go. It's 16% world tension. We have like a couple years before we can actually start acting out our plans to take over the Middle East, because we can't justify on anyone. Return Italian lands. Oh, we could do some of that. The Maltese government has discussed what to do with the Italian lands we currently occupy. What do you mean Italian lands? You're not going to get Malta. If that's what you mean. You're not going to get control of Malta. I don't know what the deal is there. Whatever. I'm not too worried about it. The Indo-Chinese revolt succeeds as in Southeast Asia. Basically, Indochina broke away from Germany, East Asia. So that's over with that's some land loss for the Germans, I guess. And what is this about? Let's go here. Serbia crowns King Alexander II. Let's do bold. Actually, no. Let's do political. No. Spirit of the Academy. Let's do bold attack. Get that done. Also do Spirit of Division Command. Flexible organization, I think would be good. Excavation 1 is done. Now let's start construction 2. Yeah, I think it's fair to say we probably have to wait about 2 years before we can actually start attacking countries. Maybe 1. We just got to have the Germans have to fight France. Maybe that would really ramp up the world tension. And we could use Austria as our battering ram for all of our enemies we have to face, such as Egypt, the Ottoman Empire, Greece, the Hellenic Republic, and they would really be the key to our victory. And what is this here? Is this... Oh, we control that. We probably need to return that. Yeah, let's return Savoy. I did not realize we control that. Return Italian lands. What is this about? All neighboring owned states, which are cores or claims of the Italian Federation, will be returned to them. Yes, return it all to them. We gave them Savoy. We don't need to control that. That's just unnecessary. At least we have more manpower now. We need more military factories, I will say that. And Spirit of the Army, let's pick out, I don't know, let me think here. Let's maybe do... Let's do what? State service military? No, the French Empire declared war on Cyrenaica, and that's going to get the Ottoman Empire fighting the Entente, I think. Let's do Professional Army Corps. Standoff in America. Second American Civil War will probably start very soon. Got that event twice. The Socialist Republic of Liberia joined the Third Internationale. Yeah, the Entente is fighting against the Ottoman Empire. Great. Just great. And Modify Officer Corps. What can we do with that? Maybe... I'm not sure. We don't really have a navy. Modify Russia, announce her ambitions. I need to do Army High Command. We need to do that there. Yeah, we did Military High Command. Army High Command focus logistics. Because the artillery focus for that did not make much sense as Malta. We can't really make a huge army with artillery. Now let's do the focus. Ideological fanaticism. Actually, let me see here. Yeah, it's not worth it at this time, because that gives us more attack on core territory, and we just need factories right now, so let's do industrial methods. Get that started. So we'll have more factories very soon as we do industrial methods. Then we'll do state armories probably, then military manufacturers and military industry, then do the rest of the industrial stuff there. And it looks like the French Empire is advancing into, well, the Entente is advancing into North Africa. I don't think the Ottoman Empire was really prepared for a strike from the French in North Africa, but that's what they're having to deal with. Modify Officer Corps. I guess we'll have to get Army High Command, whatever. The American Union State. He's fighting everyone. Second American Civil War is happening. All that's going down. The Guangzhou federal government is proclaimed in China, and that has occurred. I really wonder what the Italian Confederation will do. Let me go to their focus tree. So potentially, what can they do really? That is the Mafia State. That's not it. Assess the economy. Also not it. San Francisco. No, that's the Fasci. That's not it either. I'm looking for it. That's Evola. No. Preparing the Second Vatican Council. That's Padre Pio. I don't know what they'll do. Because that Giovanni Messi, he's not... He has a... I mean, he could take power in the SRI, but I'm not really sure what he will do. Now let's keep getting more militia trained. Can we field any infantry divisions at all? We have... I mean, it would be really small if we do. Let's just focus on getting another infantry division deployed for our country, because militia can be trained faster, but they're not as good as infantry. The French Empire declared war on the Sultan of Egypt. Wow, they're really going after a lot of powers in the Middle East, aren't they? So Egypt and the Ottoman Empire are going to combine their might to take on the French Empire, which is being led by Napoleon VI. I guess he's trying to outdo his ancestor, Napoleon I, who went into Egypt and fought the Ottomans and the Egyptians. So that's just round 2 of that from, yeah. And what are these guys doing? We have some, okay, Italian Federation, they have some divisions, and we're probably going to start taking divisions from the Italians at some point. Take them, request forces, we'll just request control over their divisions at some point. They can't really oppose us on the matter, but we won't need to do that right now. We will in the future probably, unless they get into a war with the Italian Confederation. And the world is at 41% world tension. That's pretty high in 1937. I thought it'd be lower at this point. So when we have the chance, we are going to strike at justify on the Hellenic Republic and get the backing of the Austrians and have them help us out. Support weapons 1 is done. Now let's start maybe support weapons 2, or is that too far in advance? Actually, no, let's not do that. Maybe goes here. Republicans win an election. Do concentrated industry 2. That's more easier to complete. Just get that research done. Industrial methods is going to be completed. And that's finished. Let's start state armories. Metaxas overthrows Greek government. And that has occurred. So let me see this decision stuff here. We have claims and everything. Gain core to say, no, that's something else. What do we need for that? We need Constantinople, Jerusalem, Cairo, Central Greece, and Azerbaijan, whatever. And the total list about the Riot Commune, restore Crusader states. So we need to take control outright over Greece. We need to take control outright over the Ottoman Empire, Egypt, and another area. I don't know the name of exactly. Is it here? Where is that? I don't know where that is. I really don't know. I'm really confused. And the Romanian Legionary Kingdom has joined the Belgrade Pact. All that's occurring, Belgrade Pact stuff. And let's actually do this now. Let's invade, justify on the Greeks, conquer, take, claim state. And I don't think they'll be ready for this, but we'll do it anyway. Epirus. And, oh well, that's occurred. That has happened. I didn't have to do anything. The Greeks joined a faction, though? I mean, wow. So what's happening here? This is a war, clearly. The Kingdom of Hungary is rebelling from the crisis on the Danube. So let's go help the Austrians with this war, I guess, so we can't have them getting too beat up in this conflict. Let's go defend Vienna. It'll be nice with the Austrians and help them out there. Let's also request a few divisions from the Italian Federation. The Pope is going to help out the Sovereign Military Order of Malta here. And here we have more militia in Malta. Send everything we can to Austria. We'll join their conflict because we need them to be strong for when we fight the Belgrade Pact. The Polish Republic declared war on Galicia, Lodomeria. Oh my goodness, everything's going off the rails, isn't it? Sweden joined the Reichspakt. And the Polish Republic is fighting Austria, so is Hungary. And Poland is not part of a faction, so that's good for us. The Republic of Tatarstan is fighting Russia now, or they're being invaded. Yeah, Turkestan Republic, they're just being invaded, I think. Call to arms. We'll answer your call to arms once we get up there, okay? We'll help you out. Just we'll deal with Hungary. And I don't think I have player peace-led peace conference on. I don't think I can make them a puppet of Austria. I mean, they tend... I don't know. I don't think I can manipulate the peace conference in such a way it could be a puppet of Austria again. Or maybe they would be if we beat them. Whatever. Let's join the war effort, though. Belgium joined the Entente, joined the wars. Austrian-Hungarian war. So now we're involved here. And so Maltese troops will start getting involved in the advance. Let's fight against these divisions of Hungary. Get all that done. And also, when we have the chance... Actually, never mind. We can't do anything about that. So we're going to advance here, move on Budapest with our militia. Try to do that. And destroy this encircled Hungarian division. Okay, they're gone. The Spanish Civil War is over. Who won the Spanish Civil War? Oh, the Iberian Federation. So the Republicans did, or the CNT-FI did. I think that's what they're called. Whatever. So let's keep advancing here. Get all this done. Force attack. And yeah, so we're moving out now to help out the Austrians. Once we get done with Hungary, we're going to move up and help them face the Polish, because we really need the help of Austria to fight against Greece and the Belgrade Pact. I don't know when this war with Hungary will be done, but we'll just see how long it takes. And Iceland has gained their independence. I believe they were a puppet of Denmark, maybe? I'm not too sure. At least Denmark is guaranteeing their independence, so I don't know the situation there. I don't know the deep Kaiserreich / Kaiserredux Iceland lore. And let's do air high command, air combat or something, and keep advancing into Hungary. Get all that accomplished. Colonial reform in Middle Africa that is taking place. These troops we requested from the Italian Federation are really helping us out. And there's an armored division. Bring them into the fold. Get them over here, please. Thank you, Pope Julius IV. Thank you, Julius IV. Get more troops up here, though. And keep advancing into Hungary. Advance into this province here. Nobody is defending. And it looks like Galicia Lodomeria is really suffering right now when it comes to dealing with Poland. They are just being swarmed on several fronts, I think. Actually, no, they're just fine on 2 fronts, which is a pain for them. And it does not look like we'll be able to advance into that empty province. Some Hungarian divisions are protecting that. And it's very sad to see the Maltese having to fight the Hungarians, because they did help us out when we had to fight for Rome. We had a Hungarian division holding out there with us. And I see that Venice has popped up as a country. So they're in Italy. Puerto Rico declared independence. Okay. And when our singular commander fell ill, I really need to fix this conscription law stuff, make it extensive conscription. We just have no manpower. That is our problem, until we can get all of the Holy Land under our control. I still cannot figure out the Mozambique Bush War is taking place. Yeah, the Mozambique Bush War is between Deutsch Middle Africa, or Colonial Bund Middle Africa now, as it's called, which is led by Paul von Lotto-Vorbeck. Usually it's led by Hermann Göring, but it doesn't seem to be the case in this playthrough. But anyway, they're fighting the Portuguese Empire in Angola and in Mozambique. That is what's going on there. I think Middle Africa has the aid of all their puppets in that conflict. They probably will in the long term. And let's unpause once more, then continue our drive into Hungary, the West Indies Federation. A lot of wars are going on. Haiti declared war on the Dominican Republic. The West Indies Federation is going to fight. They're going to fight Puerto Rico. Going to try to take out that island, well, that country. And in our focus tree, let's do military manufacturers. Get that done. And it looks like Illyria is making some progress in southern Hungary. We cannot take Budapest. It's just so difficult for us to strike. And we can't get any more divisions from our Italian puppet. And once all is said and completed, well, once we're done with this conflict with the Hungarians and Poland, we will make them into our puppet. And I would have liked to have made Hungary back into a puppet of Austria, which I'm not so... Yeah, they're going to just give us their war score. We can't really do that, though, because they'll just surrender their war score instantly. I don't know what we could do with that. It's going to be very strange. That's going to be, that's going to just be odd, but that's what's going to happen more than likely in the peace conference once we get there. So we're still trying to advance into this province here. It's not going so well. I mean, we are winning. It's just taking more time than expected. We can't use any... Oh, the commander's wounded. He can't use any any operations or anything like that. He is sick. Trait will expire in 7 days, so let's just let him recover from the sickness. And let's actually get a person to be a field marshal of Malta. Promote this person here. It looks like John Lennon. He seems clearly like a holy crusader in Malta, Sandro Caligia, and he will be promoted. There we go, he's a field marshal of the country now, and he'll be leading the forces of the Maltese troops, the Maltese army, on a martial level. And now in the focus tree, let's do excavation 2. I believe a focus gave us a research bonus, and that will help us out. How is Poland doing with Galicia Lodomeria? Galicia Lodomeria is just being sandwiched, aren't they? It is brutal. At least they have these mountains here that's making the situation not as bad as it could be. And Hungary is doing relatively well, considering they're facing so many enemies right now. And we can't get any more troops. We have no more manpower. We need to really up that conscription law when we have the opportunity. We have to. Even though I had to rely on the Austro-Hungarian Empire to help me out on these conflicts, we really do need to help. Serbia declared war on Bulgaria, and that is the what Serbia is justifying against us. Why are you justifying against us? Oh no, they're justifying. Actually, never mind. They're fighting. What is this about? Oh wait, no. Serbia is fighting Bulgaria. Yeah. I wonder how that's going to go. The Ottoman Empire can't really potentially intervene in this war on the side of the Belgrade Pact because they're busy fighting the Entente. They maybe could. I'm not so sure if it would go well. Bulgaria has their work cut out for them. Let's just say that. They got to fight Greece, Romania, and Serbia. Hopefully this conflict with the Hungarians will be over with, and we can go ahead and attack them very soon. So, could I just cancel that? I don't think we should have to worry about canceling it at all. Can we improve our... We need to improve our war support and stability, possibly. Solidify control, that doesn't matter. Commandeer civilian trains, also doesn't really matter. Let's do war propaganda against Hungary. We get weekly war support for about 90 days, and that will help war support go up for Malta, because war support for Malta right now is not very high at all. And the Constitutional American Republic is going to fight the federal U.S. government in the Western Command Center. That's some stuff relating to the Second American Civil War. I cannot believe this. I mean, we're winning. It's just taking time. This is just a brutal war. I need this conflict to be over so that we can immediately fight Greece and their Serbian and Romanian allies. That would be very much ideal. And this war goal will be ready on the 25th of September. It is the 19th of September, 1937 now, so we won't be able to attack immediately. Keep advancing here, though. Push back these Hungarian troops at this province, at this fort in Pest, in the state of Pest. Monarchy is restored in Greece. Push here, just advance through, take advantage of that opening in Selenia. They're declaring war on the Dutch East Indies. I guess they're rebelling against them or something. We're done just fine on Greece. We really need this war to end. Come on. Poland's going to be the pain to fight. Then Indian National Revolution. Although when that happens, at least Austria can focus the full might of their empire on Poland. Keep advancing here, though. Take here, military manufactories, move around Budapest. We have one Illyrian division that's also doing the same stuff we're doing. So just surround this whole area. Oh, we have a potential encirclement, maybe. The fall of Atlanta, that's the capital of the CAR, the Constitutional American Republic. We have a military factory ready. That's going to be put to use for making guns. Now let's do a focus military industry to get another military factory in Malta. Doctrines available. Let's do mass assault. We cannot afford to make artillery as Malta. We just can't do it. So we need to focus on getting as much manpower as possible in the field. Keep smashing through the Austria. Oh no, we're losing ground. We have to retreat from that province. At least we're going to surround Budapest. I think we will accomplish that. So let's get that done. Use force attack on this division here next to Budapest, the capital of Hungary, and there is one Hungarian militia division fighting off one Italian Federation unit and two Maltese divisions. So yeah, Budapest is going to be surrounded. They're trying to break the encirclement though, so that's a problem. Why can't the Hungarians stop that? Whatever. I mean, the Austrians, they did not do enough to stop that at all. At least we're on the winning side. That's all I can say. That was a good thing for Malta. We're going to eventually beat the enemy. It just takes time. That's all I can say. Nepal declared war on the Dominion of Delhi. We're at 64% world tension in 1937, which is a lot higher than I thought it would be at this point, honestly. Decisions available. Let's see here. Okay, never mind. That's nothing really of importance. And can we take Budapest, please? We've surrounded their troops. They cannot break out. Just, can we get this done? I attack the city. Try to attack the city. Okay, we are attempting to attack the city with about 4 divisions. We gotta do this, which I really hope we can accomplish this one objective, because Budapest is cut off from any possible aid from their Hungarian comrades. And how is Galicia-Lodomeria doing, that front up there in the north? They are holding out against the Polish with some Austrian assistance. Once the fight with Hungary is done, we should be able to send all these troops up north and just strike into the heart of Poland and into the heart of Warsaw, their capital city. And with all that said, I'm going to end part 1 of my Malta playthrough in Kaiserredux here. You can check out Kaiserredux in the video description. The link to the mod is there. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe.